The final game of round 18 would see Fremantle host West Coast in derby number 32. Freo has won the past 6 encounters between the two sides and would be strengthened by the return of Dave Mundy and Chris Tarrant. While in the Eagles camp, they would be desperate to avoid the wooden spoon after winning just one of their past 9 encounters. Fremantle got off to a flyer and were controlling proceedings at both ends. Paul Duffield's poise was evident, while Paul Hazelby's right shoe was right on target.
Good-looking ball, isn't it? Fans love it behind the goal.
As has been the case since the derby's inception, a little bit of ill feeling was starting to boil. But Mark Harvey's men were quick to refocus when Roger Hayden's bullet-like pass found his skipper.
Great kick.
The skipper's first goal was followed by Hayden Ballantyne's to give the Dockers the dream start.
Can give the handball to Ballantyne. He'll run into an uncontested goal. They've got 3, the Dockers.
Roger Hayden's move forward was paying dividends as he leapt for the stars.
Here goes Hayden.
A releasing handball to his captain, and Pavlich had notched his second.
A monster ball from 55 metres. The Pavilites put it through the middle.
The early procession continued for the Dockers as Roger Hayden's arrow-like right foot hit the mark. Michael Johnson got in on the act, and when Justin Bollinghagen reached into his bag of tricks to produce a memorable first goal, the Dockers were cruising.
That is simply marvellous. Here's an opportunity now for Bollinghagen. The Ice Creams kick the goal.
The only hiccup of the first term was a knee injury to Chris Tarrant. The second quarter would start similar to the first, Morabito displaying his class, as Dave Mundy had the Freo crowd on their feet with 8 unanswered goals.
Mundy from 30 out.
It would take 4 minutes into the second quarter before West Coast would strike a blow, and it was their leading goal kicker Mark Lacroix that provided the target. 2 goals in a minute to the West Coast full forward, a rare highlight in a forgettable first half.
Magnificent. Lacroix's got a couple in a minute.
Freo's intensity had elevated to new heights, allowing Hazelby to land his second, and when Nick Subin's left foot was sharp as a tack, the Freo faithful found their full voice.
And I think he's got it. Another one.
Lacroix notched his third for the quarter, but it was abruptly matched by Matthew Pavlich as he put forward a contender for goal of the week.
And slightly over the head was a ripper.
Late goals of the half to Michael Johnson and Stephen Hill would have Fremantle lead by 58 points at the long break.
He's dynamic on the left, just a deliberate chip over the top to Johnson, who should have marked, but he let it go for the goal.
West Coast would start the second half with an Andrew Strike bomb.
Gets it up in the vortex sort of area, good looking kick. He's nailed it without a problem.
But as was the case all day, Fremantle held all the aces, as Matthew Pavlich's fourth goal sailed through from 60 metres.
He's a miracle man from beyond the arc.
Hayden Ballantyne was always dangerous and chalked 2 quick goals, much to the delight of the pro Fremantle crowd.
Couple of balances. Ballantyne will go in and kick his 3rd goal.
Mark Lacroix, the only target up forward for the Eagles, as he booted his 5th. But it was surpassed by the desperation of Matthew De Boer. His lunging tap to hand Bollinghagen his second, sure to be replayed during the week.
Oh, well done.
Great, fantastic De Boer. Got it there to Bollinghagen.
Fremantle had numerous options up forward, but one of the best was Hayden Ballantyne. His 4th and 5th goals putting the icing on the cake.
Ballantyne just suckers it off the ground and kicks his 5th.
The Cherry placed firmly on top with his 6th major within the last minute. A 75-point victory to the Dockers in front of more than 40,000 people. Brad Seymour, Big Pond Sport.